that I would compare what my results look like after a month of using the Maffetone method, or AKA Zone 2 running. And in April, when I restarted once again, for those of you who have been watching, this is kind of like a reoccurring event. But like I said, over the last number of years, I don't know whether I've, sabotaged my own running, whether it's just my own life events that have happened, or really what it is that's kind of caused me to stop and start on this journey. I don't know if it's a lack of having a race goal, or just because of the environment that I work in, or whatever it is. It's not an excuse. These are just results that I want to share to show you that if you're thinking about starting using, whether it's the Maffetone method, or whether it's, you're just running in Zone 2 by perceived effort, or you're training by heart rate, whatever it is, it does work. It does take time. So looking at my April run was at 8:14 average pace for a 10-kilometer run. Average heart rate was 142. Maximum heart rate on that particular run kind of went up to 148. Between my pace consistency and my heart rate drift, it's very noticeable between 4 and 8 kilometers. That's when it starts to kind of take hold. And that's where things were in April. Now, when I look at May, I went down to a 7:44 pace. Okay, that's in kilometers. This is what it is in miles. My average heart rate was 138 beats. My maximum heart rate when I was on this run was 47. And my pace consistency was more consistent throughout the run, which means that my heart rate drift was more controlled and more stable. Now, this is something I was pretty impressed with. So when you look at the changes between just those two runs, it's just a very short period of time. And it's not like I'm running every day. Like on the screen here, you can see what happened, because everything I post is on Strava or in Kuros. So seeing a 30 seconds faster per kilometer in May from April, I thought that was pretty significant. I was 4 beats lower in May. My heart rate was more stable than it had been before. I had better pacing. It was more in control in May. My cardiac drift improved significantly. It was fantastic when I think about it. And I remember both runs. They were pretty cool. But, even if I did a breakdown of this is the exact same route that I ran. And if I compare between April and May, the difference is huge, right? It is quite fascinating just to kind of see. In April, I noticed a significant slowdown, like I said, between 4 and 8, right? And I dropped all the way down to like 9-minute pace per kilometer. And this is, again, what it is in miles. But on the May run, I maintained a much steadier pace with only kind of slight variations. And this included improved stamina and aerobic efficiency, which I was pretty happy to see. So I'm running nearly, not a full, but nearly a minute faster per kilometer in the middle sections of my run in May. And this shows my aerobic base is getting stronger. My heart rate stability in April, my heart rate climbed steadily, okay, and it started to peak at about 148 beats with a noticeable drift in the middle, again, 4 to 8 kilometers. And in May, my heart rate stayed much more consistent, hovering around 138 to 143. And that's pretty huge as well, considering it was only a month. Stability in May showed that I was getting stronger and more efficient, burning less energy to maintain a faster pace. And that's what this is really all about. It's about being able to build up your aerobic base, get stronger, be able to go those longer distances, and try to cut back on where that cardiac drift starts to happen, which talks about cardiac efficiency improvement. So my training impulse, so this is the TIMP, my heart rate stress score in May reflected a more controlled effort. and my heart rate adapted to aerobic loads more efficiently, which is why I maintained more of a steady pace at a lower heart rate. Here's what's working well for me right now. So my reduced cardiac drift, so my heart rate is more stable for long periods of time, which is what I've been looking for. Increased aerobic efficiency, so I'm running faster with less effort, which again is what I'm looking for. Better pacing control, so I'm not fading in the middle of the middle sections of my run anymore. So, however, with all this good news is there's some room for improvement, like there always is. So I can extend my long runs to further build endurance at that improved pace. Add in weekly tempo segments, right? So maybe I'll add some more in. Maybe I'll do a fitness test with Kuros to see where all those are. But if I added one in about 720 to 730 per kilometer just to push my aerobic, boundary, that would be pretty cool. Hill work, so light hill work repeats to enhance power and climbing efficiency. This is something that I'm going to need as I move forward, transitioning into the trails to be able to think about doing a longer run, a longer race. Again, I'm hesitant to always say an ultra marathon, but maybe find a couple of trail races that maybe, aren't that long, something to kind of dig my teeth into and slowly working my way up. And for all of my friends who have been following on this journey, yes, I hear you. You always tell me to sign up for a race, and that's something that is very hard for me just because of the line of work that I'm in, because my clients come first, and I kind of push off a lot of these races secondary, right? So, and again, it's hard to sign up and have something and then have somebody who needs me and I can't be there. So that's why that doesn't really tend to happen. So if I could find a race in the middle of the week, it would be great. But unfortunately, that's not the way it works. Races tend to be on either Saturday or the majority of them are on Sundays. But that's one of those things that I just have to come to terms with. But I can always sign up for something, right? I can always sign up for something. And I do have a business partner, so if I do need help in that regard, I can always, defer to him to help me out. But again, the races are early in the morning, so if I can finish at a particular time, look, these are not, excuses. These are just reasons that I have to overcome. And it's just life. So putting this all in perspective, yes, building your aerobic base is important. It's the foundation of what I've talked about. Yes, it works. Yes, I share all of this online with you to show you that it can be done, right? It can be done. You just need to be able to put one foot in front of the other and just do the work. If it's important enough for you, you will do it. Now, if you're dealing with the weight aspect of it, I get it. I hear you. It's not always easy. However, if you just focus on one thing just to get going, and then maybe add something in later, it can improve. Maybe not doing everything all at once is the way to go. Maybe it's adding in small little wins when it comes to food, just like adding, your daily runs into the mix. It's a compound effect. Once you get one thing solved, then the next thing starts to come, and then the next one, and the next one. And before you know it, you have a recipe of success. It's all built on small little steps leading to that end goal. But you also have to remember, it's the journey of how you get there that is the most important thing. Because once you get to the destination, then what? What, are you going to stop running? Are you going to stop eating healthy? Like what is it? It's the journey that I've learned. And it's taken a little bit of time, right? Like if you run an ultra marathon, or if you run a marathon or even a half marathon, you can feel the lead up to it and it's amazing. And then when it's over, the next day you're kind of down and out. You're like depressed. You got the post-marathon blues, so to speak, if you don't have anything else that you've signed up for. So kind of overcoming those things is interesting. So I always say it's about the journey, not the destination. Enjoy it. Because when the journey can't be achieved anymore because of health, because of work, because of whatever it is, if you can't do it anymore, then what? You got to find a different journey. So I'm enjoying my journey, and hopefully you're enjoying your journey. Tell me about your journey. I want to know. I think it's important to be able to share what we're going through, right? Whether it's our fears, whether it's our insecurities, whether it's things that we're dealing with, whether it's, food issues, running, life, whatever. I love to hear that in the comments because I think these things can help. Now, if you can't post, I understand. Not everybody wants to be, airing their issues. However, for those of you that want to share, just know that I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. It's not always easy. However, what I will tell you is if you really want to get into the meat of it, this is the journey that I'm on. This is the journey of me and my running and weight loss and just the journey of trying to become a better runner as the years go on and all my experiences. So if you're interested in any of these things, hit the like, subscribe, comment below, and we'll see you on the next video. Like I always say, get out and run.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. I know man, passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay, 'cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay, 'cause I found my way.